Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. We're in Colossians, and today we conclude a section on Paul's prayer that he prayed. He does this, and he did this in Philippians also, where he's talking, and then he just breaks out into a short prayer, and then saying, this is what I'm praying for you people. And then this is that prayer. So we talked about it. We've broken it down into three sections where Paul prays that they are filled with the knowledge, and this is a big thing because they're dealing with, Paul is writing this letter because they're dealing with Gnosticism, and Gnosticism is this kind of cult. It was a cult that had a false teaching that had come along that, you need to obtain all this knowledge. And then it had other weird things to it, like all matter is evil, and so God can't be a part of matter, and so he came in different stages, all kinds of goofy stuff like that. Okay, but Paul is saying you need to be filled with knowledge, and it needs to be knowledge of God's will. Okay, and so you need to do that. You need to be reading the Bible. Okay, you need to be in the Word. And then yesterday we talked about if you have that knowledge, then Paul prays then that you obey. Okay, you're not just like reading the Bible, but you're actually obeying it too. And then today we're talking about then Paul prays for the moral excellence that comes from that. Okay, and these are kind of some fruits of the Spirit that are listed here, not all of them, but just some, saying how. Now, he hopes that you have these things also. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense as we break down this prayer here. So this is, I'm going to read the whole prayer, which is Colossians chapter 1, verses 9 through 14. And today we're looking at the moral excellence here. So verse 9, it says, "For this reason, since the day we have heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you. We continually ask God to fill you with the knowledge of His will through all wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives, so that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work and growing in the knowledge of God." Okay, so that's what we talked about yesterday, that whole verse 10. Today we're going on from that and looking kind of at verse 11 and beyond. "Being strengthened with all power according to His glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience, and giving joyful thanks to the Father, who has qualified you to share in His inheritance of His holy people in the kingdom of light. For He has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son He loves, in whom we have redemption and the forgiveness of sins." Okay? So this brings about he talks about obedience, and then he talks about, hey, this is some of the moral excellence that you would have. I'm just going to draw on a couple of those things today, not every word in these verses here, but just focus on a few of those things here. Where it says in verse 11, "Being strengthened with all power according to His glorious might." So you're strengthened with God's power with all this, okay? And what I want you to see here is have great endurance and patience. Okay, so you keep going on, and endurance is something that has become very familiar with me because I like to participate in endurance sports. Okay, not the sports that I'm running a 50-yard dash and in 20 seconds I'm done with the event. I'm more interested in the events, the endurance events, which take a half day to complete or a whole day to complete. And those events, you just have to keep going. You can't give up. You just okay, I've got 49 more miles to run or whatever. And so it's that endurance and that's part of the moral excellence that that Paul is talking about here, that you have that endurance to just keep on going. Okay, and not only that, you have the patience. Okay, so when other people are annoying around you and pestering you, and you're like, oh, but a truly godly person has that gift, the fruit of the Spirit of patience, and so he can put up with a lot of stuff. Okay, someone that is not a Christian and doesn't have the fruit of the Spirit, um, they can't put up with a lot of stuff because they're dealing with a flesh. Okay, but we've been given the gifts of the fruit of the Spirit here, and patience is one of them. So we can put up with a whole lot. Okay. And then it says, and giving joyful thanks to the Father who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of his holy people. Okay. Paul says he's giving joyful thanks because of that. So I wanted to focus on those two things today. The endurance and the patience. Paul's talking about, hey, these are the things that kind of are as a result of this obedience, that you have this endurance. You just keep on going. Okay. People persecute you. You just keep on going, okay? People make fun of you because you're a Christian. You just keep on going, okay? But then you also have the patience. Like, in the same way, people make fun of you. Like, okay, yeah, someone made fun of me today again about being a Christian, and it's just because I know that they're lost. All right. So, those are things as we conclude this section on Paul's prayer to kind of look at your life and examine your life too in that. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Colossians. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.